Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Dick, and you chilling with the Dictate the Day channel. I put up a video yesterday, but I thought, man, since I'm just trapped in my home due to my, physical condition at the moment, I'm just gonna try to put video when I can. I don't think I'm gonna put one up tomorrow because I'll have company in the house. So today is my day. Today is Thursday. Today's the day I'm gonna manifest winning a lottery ticket known as the Texas Two Step. If you want to help me manifest that, put that in your energy. Thank you so very much. I'm bringing you another series of craziness that I have located on our wonderful interwebs here. The internet, the net that has us all trapped. Just another crazy theory. This first one, I'll go ahead and get into it. This first one is Mandela Effect-esque. And it's kind of got a different spin on it. I haven't seen the whole thing through, but I was kind of just looking over the comments. And the very first one is the conspiracy. Is the conspiracy. Oh yeah, shout out. I got another subscriber yesterday. I don't know if these people want me to say their names or anything, but you know who you are. Thank you very much, bro. I already told you. I replied back to you. It gives me all kinds of positive energy when that happens. Man, it only takes one. I am one more away from 100 subscribers. So maybe I can get that today. We'll see. We'll see. All right, y'all, let's get into this. Let me bring her in. Kind of an interesting thought process here. Let's get it started. On your mop. Get set. Let's dig into it.
Effect that I believe in that I've never really heard talked about before, and that is that the government, specifically the CIA, is doing an experiment on the population. We all know what the Mandela Effect is. We all know the Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia and them coming out with like a list of their logos and being like, look, there's no cornucopia. Like, I don't know where you guys are getting that from. Or Berenstain Bears being spelled EIN, but now it's AIN. And people will show copies and they'll be like, look, I have a book that's spelled EIN. And people will be like, oh my gosh, we're jumping timelines. Like, that's the only explanation of this, is we're jumping timelines.
I don't know.
I don't believe that. I believe that the government is doing an experiment on us, and all of these companies are in on it because they want to know how easily manipulated we are into believing whatever we're told, even if there's proof against what they're telling us. Yeah, I've just never heard anybody talk about this before, and I do like the timeline skip, timeline jump theory that's been going around, but yeah, I'd love to hear more theories that you guys have if you don't agree with this one, but this is just what I've come to believe. And I'm not saying that I'm the first person to ever talk about this or that I came up with this theory, but I've just personally never seen anybody talk about it before, so tell me what you think. I have a conspiracy theory.
I'm picking up what she's putting down. I really feel like, I mean, okay, let's look at it from like an advertising standpoint. A lot of times, people, companies, entities will change the font, the spelling. They'll make it more, they'll make it pop more, all that kind of stuff. They'll change letterings, color, setups. They'll remove things like cornucopias. McDonald's will change the arch, whatever it may be. But that's not what the companies are saying. They're saying we've never had this. And yet they know we're out here talking about it. So like, okay, is it CERN firing up and then we're switching timelines? Or is it some larger entity, whether it be the CIA or whatever, and we may not even know who or what they are. But are they just trying to see how manipulated that we can, like, how far can they take this? Like, legit global gaslighting? Global gaslighting. Yeah, I don't know. But interesting, and I have definitely thought about it before. Yeah, man, because if you bring this kind of stuff up to people and they're not with the whole open your eye, objective that most of us should, be paying attention to, because things are changing and in a strange way. A lot of us feel it and know it. But they'll just shoot you right down. They'll be like, nah, this, that, the other. Like they refuse to accept that these things are happening. So weird. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next one. Let me pull up here. Let me get in now. All right, next. Thank you for your input there, young lady. I think her name is Kennedy Goodman. Thank you. Oh yeah, all this entertainment purposes only. And I am reacting using the Fair Use Act legally. All right, here we go.
MK Ultra wasn't one experiment, it was a franchise of nightmares. Over 150 sub-projects, each more secretive than the last. Some had names like Artichoke and Bluebird. One, allegedly, was called Monarch, tied to trauma-based mind control and dissociation. The CIA didn't just test in labs. They went into prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, even universities. McGill University in Canada. Patients went in for depression, came out with wiped memories and scrambled identities. Many experiments were done without consent. People were drugged, hypnotized, isolated. Some were children. Even the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, was a subject at Harvard under one of these sub-projects at age 17. And here's the kicker. Most of these programs were contracted out to researchers who didn't even know the full agenda. The CIA just called it behavioral science. This wasn't science fiction. It was funded, documented, and partially declassified. And most of it still under wraps.
Correct.
MK Ultra wasn't one experiment.
Yeah, so there is a documentary on Netflix. I believe I saw it on. Could have been the Hulu's. I don't remember. And there may be more than one. But it's about Mr. Ted Kaczynski and how, like, his family members even talked about how he was changed after attending. I even think he was an educator at, was it Harvard, MIT? I don't remember. But they jacked with his mind, man. And it kind of opened him up too much. And then he was like, I got to fix it. He went all Thanos on it. Do your research. Entertainment purposes only. All right, let's get into this next one. Crazy. I've got kind of a mixed grab bag of stuff today. I was feeling kind of, miscellaneous, if you will. Let's dig back into it.
Why the Galapagos Islands are off limits. Most people think the Galapagos Islands are just a protected nature zone. But did you know large areas are completely off limits to the public? Only a handful of sites are accessible, and only with government-approved guides. Satellite scans have revealed strange geometric structures beneath the surface, and reports from early explorers mention mechanical sounds from underground. Local legends even speak of metallic doors and sealed caverns. So why is it really restricted? Is it just about wildlife, or are they hiding something else entirely? Follow if you think nature preserves aren't just about the animals. Comment what you believe is buried beneath the Galapagos. Why the Galapagos Islands
this one is pretty deep, because if you, I love the animal documentaries, all that kind of stuff. It used to be how I'd fall asleep, put on some Discovery or whatever, History Channel. Ancient Aliens too, that was a good one to fall asleep to. If you're in, the vein of thought process that I like so very much. But there's animals and species of plants and coral and all kinds of stuff that doesn't exist anywhere else. It's there. And, supposedly that's why they're protecting it. But what's really going on? If they're not telling us, because that's how they like to do it. Allegedly. All right. Next.
Before the bomb was ever tested, people were. During the Manhattan Project, scientists secretly exposed civilians and soldiers to radiation. They wanted to know how much could the human body take before it breaks. Declassified memos show that patients were injected with plutonium, uranium, and polonium without their knowledge. Others were exposed in hospitals, military drills, or isolated test sites. Most thought they were just getting routine treatment. These were labeled clinical studies. The subjects weren't told they were part of nuclear weapons research. Some documents were kept sealed until the 1990s, and only after lawsuits. The program ran under multiple names. The testing didn't stop with the war. And this was just phase 1. Do you think we ever stopped testing on civilians, ready for part 2? Comment to unlock it. This is File 032. The Manhattan Files, Part 1. Visit theclassifiedfiles.com. Follow classified intel to stay inside the signal.
Check them out, man. Check them out. Yeah. If you get into, like, for example, when they were dropping and doing testing on some of the first nuclear, armaments and stuff, they had people way too close. And it's not like they didn't think it was going to be dangerous. They wanted to see what would happen to them. Bro, somebody owes me a check if you put me in the microwave without me knowing it. You know what I mean. All right, next one.
It's you. Say it. What is it? Grand Central. What is it?
It's always been
Here's a
station.
picture to remind you.
Grand
What
Central
is this
Station.
called? Is this called Grand Central Station or is it called Grand Central Terminal? It's actually called Grand Central Terminal. When did that change? For me, it has always been Grand Central Station. I don't know when that changed, but apparently it is Grand Central Terminal. New York, only in New York. When did that, speaking of New York, let's do
Okay, look. When I was, I don't know, this was mid to late 80s, my parents, my stepfather and mother took a trip to New York, and we were there for a couple weeks. I was a kid, but we went there. We saw all the sights. We went to the Statue of Liberty. We went to Manhattan Times Square. All the things. It was Grand Central Station. Like, yeah. Once again, did they just change it? But no, they're saying it's never been that. Why? Bro, what is happening? What's happening? He's not done.
one more thing in New York. Where is the Statue of Liberty located? Where is the Statue of Liberty located? Come on, this is America. We all should know this. Where is Lady Liberty located? Is it Liberty Island or is it Ellis Island? A lot of people thought that it was Ellis Island, including myself. In my timeline, it was Ellis Island. But apparently,
Always.
it is Liberty Island. Yes, Lady Liberty is on Liberty Island, even though in some pictures, it kind of contradicts itself, and it looks like it's actually on Ellis Island, but it's actually on Liberty Island. When did that change? But here's the ticker. Here is a 1985 coin. And what does that coin say? This is an actual coin of the Statue of Liberty. And what does that say?
They sure enough
It
does.
says Ellis Island,
1986.
New York. What's going on? Let me know if you remember. I'm
going to say captivates. The Mandela effect kind of captivates me because why? What would it matter? Is it just a test? Like, I don't know. Okay, here we go.
So this thing fell in a neighborhood last night. Luckily, it missed all the houses.
I put this up here because I have some questions. Did this really fall from the sky? Is this person just trolling us? Or is it, because if it fell from the sky, wouldn't there be more damage on the ground? Like, whap, the concrete crack, something. Is this like a sewage tank that they're taking away for repair? I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know. Here, check it out.
And cars and people. Everyone was safe. Does anyone know what it is?
It didn't even... And they're taking it away. What is that, y'all? If you know what this is, put it in the comments. Like, yeah, it has damage on it. But is that from it falling from the sky or
So
space?
this
Like, it's obviously real, but what is that? Somebody knows what that is. Hit me up. Is that someone... Okay, is this like somebody's, like, a metal worker and they built this thing for their kids and they outgrew it and they're like, let's get it out of here. Like, is that like some kind of cool clubhouse for the kids because this guy knew how to weld? I don't know. All right, here we go. Let's keep rolling on.
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% know is true?
This is
Root
nuts.
canals. There's this YouTube video, which before was a documentary on Netflix before it got pulled after 2 weeks, known as The Root Cause. The Root Cause discusses the big psyop by dental industry and by big pharma to people's health up through root canals. You can't even watch it in the United States. You have to turn on a VPN because it's banned by the American Dental Association, which is in bed with big pharma. I had a root canal recently removed, and once they did the DNA biopsy on the tooth, they found 20 different types of parasites growing and living inside of my jaw. Stay away from fluoride, stay away from root canals.
So how are you going to do that? You're going to switch from a fluoride toothpaste to a hydroxyapatite toothpaste. The reason that is, your teeth are made up of 96% hydroxyapatite. But when you brush your teeth with it, it's going to remineralize your teeth, deposit all the microscopic crystals back into your enamel, allowing it to build itself stronger, build itself thicker. The thicker your enamel is, the safer your teeth are. One I use is made by Snow. It has xylitol, which actually prevents cavities. Sodium bicarbonate, which is going to pressure wash all the stains off. The only problem is because it's so affordable, it always fucking...
Okay, I didn't realize this was somebody trying to sell something. I usually catch these, but I didn't finish watching this all the way through. I do know xylitol does help your teeth more than, of course, fluoride or any of that other stuff. That's supposed to be a legit thing. I used to have these like little mints that you're supposed to use them before you brush your teeth and not use toothpaste. I can't remember what they were called. But, you know, I guess it kind of works. I don't know. Up for debate. Why can't we just regrow our teeth anyway? Aren't we supposed to do that? Like a horn? Like, are these our horns? I don't know. Next.
So here's your big update now out of Egypt, and it just made this mysterious Giza discovery from last week way more real. Now remember that
I've only talked about this on one of my old school videos, but he's bringing up the that huge thing they found underneath the pyramids that had the pillars and it's kilometers deep and all this stuff. Well, I guess they've done some further testing. Allegedly, according to this, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. All right, next. Or I'm sorry, let's continue.
Controversial claim last week about a massive hidden underground city beneath the Great Pyramid. Well, the research team behind it just dropped a major bombshell. They say they found a sealed sarcophagus buried deep beneath the pyramid's complex. Yes, a literal stone sarcophagus, untouched and hidden for possibly thousands of years, according to reports from the Daily Mail. Scientists used high-frequency electromagnetic and ground-penetrating radar to scan beneath the pyramid's surface, and what showed up was stunning. It was a massive chamber underneath there, made of stone, tucked inside one of the newly identified chambers. Look at this. So it's kind of hard to see from these drawings, but they know what they're looking at. Massive chamber down there, that massive stone sarcophagus. Here's some sort of artist renderings here, so you can see a little bit more and understand what this is showing. Now, to be clear, no one has opened this sarcophagus yet, but the team says the object strongly resembles a sarcophagus, and it's positioning inside what they believe is a ceremonial or burial chamber. So archaeologists, of course, are freaking out about it right now. But like battle lines are being drawn, because it's so stunning to see the machining on some of these blocks, and specifically perhaps this sarcophagus, which is perfectly machined, according to experts, that we even have like laser cutting machines today that can't do as well as some of these stones have been perfectly cut. I don't know how many of you have actually, been to Egypt and you stand there and look at their, and you actually look at this, being able to like slide a credit card in between one of these stones. You can't do it. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. And here's where it gets even more fascinating and controversial, because the team still believes this site may be tied to the legendary Hall of Records, the mythical archive that is said to house ancient knowledge, possibly from Atlantis or even earlier civilizations. Of course, that's been the stuff of mystery books, right, and conspiracy theories for decades, and now it's like all coming crashing right into, mainstream headlines right now. So here's your big update.
Yeah, I think that's so very interesting. I hope in our lifetimes we will find out what's going on. I mean, with everything, with Egypt and the pyramids and the possibility of, I mean, it's obvious they had technologies that, you know, we cannot replicate today. Crazy. So many things. My mind just goes crazy with all this stuff. Everything from the wristwatches they had to everyone had a handbag. What was in that handbag? Some people think it was mushrooms. You know, who knows? Some form of the DMT molecule in there to help them, I don't know, step into different consciousness. Who knows? All right, let's keep rolling, y'all.
Is it normal for a grown-ass man to, like, not have any friends?
It kind of is.
Am I normal? I don't have, like, a group of guys that I text with or buddies that I'm chatting with on the phone or go fishing or hunting and, like, go out to bars drinking, and I don't have any friends. Like, my wife is my best friend, and literally that's the only person I really spend time with. I mean, I talk to people. I go to the gym and all. I have, like, a few, you know, acquaintances at the gym that I'll spend 15, 20 minutes talking to, but I don't ever, like, text or call. Or is that normal?
It is. I think it is.
When you get older as you age, or am I just like a loner? Am I, like, so lost in my own anxieties and depression that I've outcasted everybody? I've just, since I've been in my 20s plus, I've never really had close friends. And I keep seeing all these videos of people hanging out together. And am I not normal? I just don't even know how to feel about it.
You know, I was thinking about this, and it didn't hit me till now. You know, I have had a past. I've talked about it before. I don't want to get in trouble for saying too much. I don't mind talking about it, though. You know, drugs and alcohol. If I just feel like I had way more, you know, I guess you would say friends, hangout buddies, stuff of that nature when I was in that realm, when I was doing those things, when I made a conscious effort to, you know, prioritize health and things of that. I mean, I know I'm still, you know, whatever, but I'm never trying to distance myself from sobriety really anymore. I identify with this guy for whatever reason, because the friends that I had that were into the party lifestyle, regardless of their age, when I kind of stopped doing those things, they kind of went away. And I know there's other sober people out there and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like this is something that is real prevalent in our society, especially here in the good old America. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing either. Give me your thoughts. Put them in the comments. Please. All right, next.
So I've known this for a long time, but I never thought I'd ever be able to talk about it. Well, let's just get to the meat, shall we? This is John Ramirez, who is a former intelligence officer for the Central Intelligence Agency. Here's John showing his Career Intelligence Medal with his name on it and the accompanying certificate signed by then CIA Director Leon Panetta. John Ramirez is the real deal. That said, John, through a legal loophole that releases him from a non-disclosure agreement on a few things, just admitted some stuff that I never thought would become public. He admitted that Google, the same Google that you and I know and use, were given their search technology and the Google Earth functionality by the Central Intelligence Agency. In return for Google being the tech company that's going to translate, disseminate, and manage data transfers between extraterrestrials and humans. And here he is in his own words.
There were 3 items on the agenda. One was a historical look back at CIA's relationship with UFOs in general. That's where slide 53 was the McMinnville UFO, the famous one, in 1950. And that was briefed as, this is an authentic UFO. And the reason why it's never been successfully debunked is because it is authentic and we know it. Number 2 was hybrids. And number 3 was the future of information technology will explode. We're working with a company to disseminate and allow a dialogue of information like this and other information.
John, is
And
this
that
the
company is
you
Google.
referenced? Oh,
Google.
okay.
Google, because we had a relationship with Google already. We
Is
provided them with Earth Viewer, which became Google Earth, and we provided them with search tools, which became Google Search.
Furthermore, he talked about the underground facilities in St. Louis, talked about his visits to Area 51, and admitted that the CIA knows for a fact that the human race is a mix of primate and alien DNA, and that certain bloodlines got more augmentation than others, and that those bloodlines get surveilled their entire lives by the world's intelligence communities. Wow. I mean, maybe disclosure really is on the calendar. I don't know. This is a high-ranking CIA officer who knows Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon. The amount of info he gives up on the human hybrid program... And I say that knowing a lot of shit. If you want to watch the whole interview, go to YouTube, Unidentified Celebrity Review, and look up John Ramirez. Now, why? At the end of this particular video, would I remind you to start meditating and developing the powers of your mind? Because that's exactly what I'm telling you to do. Why would I mention that here? Might there be some kind of connection here? You have seen the recent videos I've done where science has proved conclusively that your consciousness reaches out beyond your body, right? That's beyond Six Sigma science, surpassing the minimum requirement that science considers something conclusive evidence. You should probably learn to speak the language of tomorrow. Stay tuned. Love you guys. Peace. So I've known...
Yeah. Interesting, right? What? Yeah, I don't know. This guy's TikTok. I think he has a YouTube too. I'm not sure. Rather interesting. I don't know who he is, but he appears to be connected and informed on some level, allegedly. All right, let's go to the next one.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Where'd that lady go? Watch this. And you've probably seen this, but come on, man. Because the dude's gonna move back there, and she's... Yeah. And that's just like you got your socks on, you know, in the kitchen. And I think the cat, you know. That's doable. It is weird, though. Some Matrix stuff, right? Okay, I have such a fear of sinkholes. Like, I wouldn't... Nah. That thing's about to flush the toilet or something, bro. Get off of there. Get off of there. Okay, and I have yet... I mean, I know this is probably some magic trick. I don't know, with static electricity. I've seen this guy in multiple videos. He does it all over the place. Yeah. Alright. Tell me what you think. Hit me up. Next. I have debated on whether or not to put this thing up there because it does look computer generated. But I wanted to get some feedback from the world, from my friends, family, and day takers out there. Man. Watch this. I mean, it looks like a video game character that also looks like an angel / demon. I don't know. Check this out.
Got silent. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's not even raining that hard.
No.
It's just wicked thunder and lightning.
Wicked is right. Watch him slow it down. Let him slow it down. Because there's like a minute left. Watch this. This is scary for multiple reasons. It's because now they're going to take it in reverse. Like, I mean, that's not real. It's what if it is? What if? Okay, next. And I have no idea what this is. And, I mean, this appears to be real. And it looks like it's old. Like from the 60s or 50s. And
most powerful weapon on Earth isn't nuclear. It's sitting in Alaska right now, allegedly capable of creating earthquakes.
I have been trying to find, first of all, videos about, this is about HAARP. It's a thing where supposedly it was just to do research on the ionosphere. I think I have a couple of these shorts in here. But there's theories and possible reasoning that what they're really doing is using this antenna array, because that's what some of those initials mean there, to heat the ionosphere and the magnetosphere or whatever to control weather. Heat it up, make it rain, make hot spots, and potentially there has been some whistleblowers that say earthquakes as well. So to be used as a weapon. Okay, check it out.
And hurricanes at will. HAARP, a mysterious government facility, has allegedly been linked to every major natural disaster in the last 20 years. Massive antennas pulse energy into the atmosphere, heating up the ionosphere to unnatural levels. Critics say it's no coincidence that wherever HAARP targets, catastrophe follows. From the Haiti earthquake to Hurricane Katrina, the patterns are there. The government claims it's just for studying the atmosphere, but leaked documents suggest something far more sinister. Whether it's weather warfare or population control, this 3.6 million watt facility might be the key to controlling Mother Nature herself. Can a top secret science lab really manipulate our world to this extent? Perhaps the truth is out there, buried beneath layers of classified files, waiting for those brave enough to seek it. What do you think about this theory? Follow for more history videos.
Okay. I can't remember if I have one of these clips in here, but there's been several, like, I believe they're, I don't know if it's the Senate floor or the House of Representatives or what it is. It may even be Alaskan politics, because they're in some room and they're asking questions about it. And then like some senator or representative is like, I understand we have used this. This goes all the way back to the Vietnam War, because supposedly they used some form of weather modification, manipulation, to like wash out the Ho Chi Minh Trail, so it would affect weapon supplies to the enemies and whatnot. Allegedly. I don't know if that's true. Just things I found along the way. I think I have another one of these on here. Let's see. I'm not sure what's next though. Surprise.
The Grand Canyon is not just an American sightseeing location. There are strange and dark secrets that lie within. Some have even encountered a gateway to a hidden world. In 1909, the Arizona Gazette published an article about an expedition funded by the Smithsonian. This expedition was led by a man named G.E. Kincaid, and he discovered an ancient underground city within the Grand Canyon. But here is where it gets interesting. This city was filled with artifacts from ancient Egypt, hieroglyphs, statues, and even a pyramid. How did ancient Egyptian relics end up in Arizona over 5,000 years ago? Is it possible that they had access to flight? But it gets even stranger. The Smithsonian seized all the artifacts and shut down any further exploration, which led to 90% of the Grand Canyon being restricted till this day. The canyon is home to numerous hidden caves and tunnels, many holding ancient treasures and technologies. Many adventurers used to report seeing strange lights and sounds coming from these depths. The Hopi tribe, a tribe native to the region, speak of sacred underground cities known as the Sipapu. These cities are believed to be gateways to the underworld, holding powerful energies that should never be disturbed. All this makes us wonder, what else is hiding in the Grand Canyon? The Grand Canyon is not just an American sightseeing location.
So this information, if you do any kind of research on it, it takes you down some crazy, like I have heard, and I think allegedly this could be somewhat real. I'm sure you can research it. Do your own. NASA owns the rights to the property that is the Grand Canyon, and supposedly has something to do with the inner parts of the pyramid. I don't know how you get the rights to that. I don't understand like property somehow. But you know, this story, if you do anything on the Kincaid guy, He was hired by the Smithsonian, found all this stuff. They were like, nah, we don't have any more money. And then they sealed everything. And yes, ancient artifacts from Egypt are there. This will take you down another thing that it goes to Atlanta, Atlanta, Georgia, and how they have so many different cities and places there that are named after places we know to be in Africa/Egypt, where the pyramids and all that stuff. So like, what was going on there? Were they able to travel back and forth through some Stargate portal stuff, frequency manipulation? Man, I don't know. Craziness. All right, I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and draw it to a close there. I just feel like we've done enough. I think I've stimulated enough thought process in my folks. I gave a little update yesterday of the medical procedure that I got coming up. I'm not going to put up a video tomorrow. I am going to do some research on some upcoming videos. I'm going to do some food and beverage expose stuff. I was requested that from one of my viewers and friends, old school bar regular, good friend of mine. Because I've told some bar stories before. They're on past channels. I can't remember if I said all this already. I had to restart because the internet wasn't working. Whatever. But yeah, so I've done some research, and man, some of this stuff is so janky. Like, I'm worried about putting some of the video up because they are, talk about exposing some restaurant no-nos. Damn, and I'll have some stories that kind of go along with it for sure. Over 30 years of slinging food and drink, so I got some things. I've put some stories up, and they actually have some good views too. Like, woo, yeah. I think one of the videos is titled like "Be Good to Your Servers or Bartenders" or something. There's a good reason for that. Check it out if you feel like doing so. But yeah, so I won't be putting up a video tomorrow. I'll be doing all that work. The wife will be home. Working from home, so I can't put anything up because this wonderful microphone is too powerful and puts up everything else, and I don't have a weight. There's no door on this little room here, but I'm working on all that. I'm working on all of this. It'll all get better in time, and who knows, maybe after today's video upload I'll have 100 subscribers because I'm at 99, y'all. I'm right there. So if you're watching this and you feel like giving me some of that energy, bam, some of that positive vibes, that's all it would take. I'm easy like that. Simple man. Simple man. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you for checking it out. Like I said, I'll give you more health updates as this goes on. The procedure I'm having is coming up next week. Yeah. And I feel like maybe doing some documentary on the whole thing, like showing you the pictures of what's going on, because I'm supposed to be getting, an epidural and 60 shots in my back. And I'm supposed to have some soreness and have to watch out for infections and all that good stuff. And I'll let you know as time goes on. Hopefully that it worked, and I'm all gangster. I'm all good. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and dip. Dick's gonna dip, everybody. Thank you for checking out. I hope you're taking your day. It really helps if you have some success in taking your day, I promise. And remember, all you got to do is spread your love, share your knowledge, get in there, and you will be successful in taking your day. I promise you'll feel better. I promise. Thank you. I love you. Dick's going to see you on the flip. I'm out.